but the bloodline, Sami Zayn is working. Let's get into some other NXT veterans that have been called up and that are succeeding on the next line. Let's get into Bray Wyatt's return, Uncle Howdy, Alexa Bliss. This whole storyline going on where Bray Wyatt comes back creepily playing tweener kind of heel face. We don't know which direction he's going to go. Now this behind the scenes character that has allegedly been behind everything, behind Sister Abigail, the Wyatt family, Uncle Howdy comes in and plays this devil on his shoulder character. And we're just waiting to see which way he goes. What are you guys' thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Honestly, I think they're gonna end up revealing who Uncle Howdy is, and I think it's gonna end up being Bo Dallas, since Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt are actually brothers. But I know a lot of people really don't get a knack out of the supernatural characters, supernatural storylines. But I mean, I've always been a fan of Bray Wyatt. I always felt that he was different, and he was the first. When he got released, I was one of the first people I was just like, see, this is one of those releases you're gonna regret, because this guy is different. He's not like everybody. He's not like everybody else. I mean, at the tail end, they kind of watered him down because he would cut these promos saying, "I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that," and then he ended up losing. So then so then it was like all his promos actually meant nothing. But this feud he's having with LA Knight. First of all, I'm a fan of LA Knight. I mean, he was one of the people that when this brief period I was watching Impact, he was Eli Drake and he was the Impact champion. I love the catchphrase, and this is definitely a good feud. But obviously, I do think Bray Wyatt comes out on top in the pitch black match. I mean, the match is pretty much made for him. Get some money from Mountain Dew, and so. But I like the supernatural character of Bray Wyatt, and when he came back, you guys saw the reaction. So they love him. So I don't know why they let him go in the first place.
Yeah. I've been a huge Bray Wyatt fan, and I know you didn't. You hated the Fiend. I feel like I know you.
I was saving that for my part. I'll let you continue.
No, we're gonna discuss that as soon as you talk.
Yes. And you know it's crazy. I love the Fiend. I was a huge, but okay. I love the Fiend in the terms of just like the attire, the fun house, like him being the host to then turning into the Fiend. The stuff they did with him, was trash. Like the match with Seth Rollins, the red, making him seem like the 50 chair shots, the 50 stomps. I'm like, what do you like? Just let this organically. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, let these people just do what they do. But no, they gotta like butcher it with all these like extra shit. And I'm like, bro, this man probably knew what he wanted to do, and y'all didn't let him do it. But yeah, I've been a huge Bray Wyatt fan. This, and like Brian said, through that reaction, and I was the one, bro, on Twitter checking. Like I wasn't checking. I was seeing what the promo codes were, and I'm like, yo, this man is coming. Like, and I love the breadcrumbs. Like, oh, here's the White Rabbit. Oh, it leads to this one. Everybody's like, is it him? Is it not? And I saw so many stories that like, yo, if this is not Bray Wyatt, people are they're gonna fucking riot. And when he came back, I was like, I got that like rejuvenated feeling. I was like, yo, like finally. This story though, I don't know. I'm iffy on it. I'm optimistic. I hope it's Bo, honestly, because of the whole family ties. I don't know how it's. I don't know. Honestly, this one, I don't know which direction they're going. They're pulling in Alexa Bliss. He's, a part like me, reveal your true self. And it's like, so is all these characters you're bringing the fun house back? Are you going to bring the Fiend back? Like, what does it all mean? And then I'm just hoping that the pitch black match isn't just literally in darkness. You can't even fucking see anything. Or it's going to be like purple lights or some shit. And I'm like, I don't know.
Like nobody knows what it means.
Exactly.
Is it a match?
Yeah, as long as they're not using the ring graphics they used at WrestleMania 33 between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton.
Oh my god!
As long as they don't do something similar to that, I think we're gonna be all right.
Wait, which one? The one with him and Randy?
Yeah, him and Randy at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't. When he won the title, it was so like I feel for me it was out of left field. I was like, did you just make this dude champ? I'm like, there was no build to that like happening at all. Which
like,
I'm always for like, shit, throw the curveball and like make this dude champ. You're like, who? That fucking dude? But when he became champ, I was like, I was happy, but then I'm like, and then like, bro, he's going to WrestleMania. It should have been a way bigger deal, and they like butchered it. And same shit with Alexa. I was like, yo, you guys, I feel like they had a good thing going with like her coming to him and everything. And then did she turn on him? Like, I don't understand what was the whole point of all that. It just, but I'm a big horror fan, so I think that's why I was really into the Fiend. And I was like, bro, this mask is legit like creepy as fuck. And I fucking love it. So I was all for it. But what they did with him, I don't know. But I don't know. I don't really know where this story is going, but I hope it pays off because I think Bray Wyatt's actually really fucking smart. When he was with the Wyatt family, his promos were top notch. You know?
Daniel, before you go, I just gotta ask you a question. Is your dislike for the Fiend more because of that horrible Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins and how horribly booked that was? Did that play into it?
This is my thing with the Fiend. The look is awesome. The song is awesome. Do I like the change of the lantern? Not so much. The mask is awesome.
I love the lantern.
When I first saw him, I'm like, yo, he could be like a Mankind character, a guy
that
wishes punishment,
exactly,
playing tricks, a Jake the Snake type thing, manipulating people, doing stuff like that. But my whole problem, my whole hesitation day one was, how are they going to book him? That's it. And I was like, they're going to mess this up. They're going to fuck this up. Like, they're going to mess this up. There's no way they can survive. Like, in this day and age, I'm like, the supernatural stuff has to be perfect. It has to work. It has to be impactful. The way they brought him out and the way they made him do all the stuff that he did, the way they made Seth Rollins look weak in that whole exchange, like as a champion, looking like that, like, and then of course the 50 chair shots, the toolbox thing. I'm like, they burned him day one to me. And I was telling people, I'm like, yo, they're gonna mess this up. And every step of the way, they just gave you another reason not to believe. All the stuff they try to rejuvenate it with, make it look cool, and then they job him to Goldberg. You know what I mean? So like, I'm like, that's where I'm like, yo, I told you. I was arguing with this one dude. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, they're going to.
Sorry, I hate Goldberg now. I hate Goldberg now. Like,
at that stage, it was like, yo, like, he can't do that. Like,
he can't do none of this no more.
Overall, Bray Wyatt. I love Bray Wyatt, his style when he had the Wyatt family, how impactful they were as a unit, all the stuff when Bray hit his promos, the torch lamp coming down to the ring. Everyone lights their phones and their lights up. That's a dope aesthetic. And now he comes back. Of course, everyone missed him. Like, you could saw in the ring when he came back, he was tearing up. Like, it was that emotional for him because the fans were like, yo, we wanted you here. You know what I mean? There's that genuine love. Like, yo, we wanted you here. We believe in you. This storyline, however, I'm like Lewis, I'm optimistic to see where it goes because I'm like, they can't mess this up again. You can't do this to this guy again. Of course, he's having a lot more control on it. I think Uncle Howdy, of course, is Bo Dallas. Like, he has the long hair. He's kind of the same height. It's got to be Bo Dallas, unless they pull some type of trickery on us, right? So it's interesting to see how that goes, where this goes. Is this going to be like a tag team thing? Is this going to be like a faction thing where they just help Bray Wyatt do a whole bunch of shit, like take over, basically, manipulate people, harm people, stop somebody's opportunity from getting the championship? All the stuff that he can do, being manipulative, being a heel, potentially. Like, I don't see this being a face character. Like, I don't see Bray Wyatt being a face character. I think he's going to turn heel fully and be absolutely ballistic. I'm hoping that's what they do. The whole thing with Alexa Bliss, I was never a fan of the Sister Abigail thing. I was like, okay, and especially the way they booked that. We all know about the Inferno match with Randy Orton and all that stuff like that. WrestleMania, when she comes out with the blood out her mouth and all this stuff, it's like, all right, I don't know what direction they're going to go. I've always been a fan of Alexa Bliss as Alexa Bliss, like her being cocky, being conniving, and all this stuff. Her as Sister Abigail, I'm like, I'm not a fan of that, but I'm interested to see where this goes because it's like, and especially the title match that she has with Bianca. Bianca's, of course, looking for. they're trying to search out a opponent for Bianca right now, and it's like Alexa Bliss can't do that if they let her win the title, if they let her be evil, manipulative, actually hurt Bianca Belair, which I think they should do, like in some type of way. Like if you're going, this is my thoughts. Like if you're going to do something like this switch, it has to be impactful. It has to mean something. You know what I mean? Like don't waste this opportunity for her. And especially Bianca, who has had a long reign right now. I don't know what direction they're going to go. And of course, that's the storyline, how the storylines are. Like, we don't know which direction a lot of these things are going. And I think that's the intrigue about it. But I'm optimistic. I'll say that about this. I'm optimistic about it. I want Bray to succeed. I want Uncle Howdy to succeed. I want Alexa Bliss to succeed. Like, if we're going to put this effort into this type of group, we need them to succeed.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys think that a possible switch up to the story? Do you guys think LA Knight eventually ends up joining the stable? I personally hope not, because I like the character. I saw that some people suggesting
his character is like the Miz, right? Like he's kind of like
cocky,
entertainment, stylish, all this stuff. Like I don't want that from him. He should be in the mid card somewhere, challenging for the title, working his way up, having great matches. And I don't want him put into that. I don't want him sucked into that. Like that's their own identity. Like Bray Wyatt and whatever this faction is, the Funhouse, whatever they want to call it, that's their own identity. I don't think LA Knight needs to be. Nah. I don't like that. I don't like that. I hope not. I hope they don't do that.
Yeah, they gotta let him do his thing for a bit before doing that type of change. Like. Now, don't do it like Randy could do it because Randy's been around forever. Or when Brian was joining the Wyatt family, but LA Knight's too fresh. Like, all right, let him get beat, and then he can move on to somebody else.
Yeah. Like move him on to something else. That's what they should do. Hopefully, that's what they do. Yeah. Now, again, like talking about Bray Wyatt, like is he like? Of course, when I'm thinking of like when I said earlier that he cost somebody a championship, is this a way? Potentially, let's say Sami Zayn wins the Rumble, that Bray Wyatt somehow gets in and cost him that. That's what I'm thinking down the line. Like that will make him such a heel. Like that's the one thing. Like you have to make the people hate him if he's going to do this, in my opinion.
Definitely. If you're gonna turn them, if you're definitely gonna turn them heel, take your most.
That's just me thinking. Like, if we're gonna do this and make him be demonstrative and be a badass and just ruin shit, that's the angle they gotta go. Like you can't have him just doing random shit with LA Knight. You know, if we're gonna put Bray Wyatt into that picture of main eventer and prestige and all this stuff. We gotta make, and especially his character, he can't be a babyface. Like he can't. He's like Jake the Snake. He can't be a babyface in my eyes.
Exactly.
Like, you can't. That's
I think eventually they're gonna get there. I think the LA Knight feud is probably just a warm up feud for
him. Of course.
Just came back. Eventually, I know they got plans probably past WrestleMania, like probably by SummerSlam, maybe that Bray Wyatt's gonna probably be their top act along with Roman, but. There's definitely potential for it. I mean, like I said, he's different. He's unique, and that's the one thing about wrestling. Like everybody has a talent and ability, but how else can you stand out? And with this character, he stands out. So
that's like what we were saying earlier. The 15 musclehead dudes in the ring. Like we need you need something different. You need something different.
And it's funny, he's the only one doing stuff like this right now. There's nobody else being like this type of story, this type of character. Like he's the only one doing this type of thing. And what really needs to happen is they need to get those 2 titles off of Roman so you can build all these other storylines. Because like I said, like you said, if they bring Sami Zayn in, he wins, and then he wins both titles, and then Bray gets thrown into that. It's like you have too many top tier people that you're not utilizing because all the titles are in one place. You know, it's like
that's the holdup with like the part timers like Lesnar and Cena. It's okay for them to come back once in a while, but to actually drive your product that consistent, that long, it hurts everybody because now, again, like you said, they got to get those titles off them at some point, right? Like Drew is in the holding pattern. Braun Strowman's in the holding. Whatever you think of Braun Strowman, he's a big guy. He's going to be in that picture anyway. He's being in that holding pattern.
He's honestly should have had like more reigns than he's had.
Yeah, Like I thought
Easily.
he was wasted. Especially he was another guy wasted during the Fiend feud, the Fiend feud. Like he was wasted during that. Like Sheamus has rejuvenated himself.
Yeah,
he should be in that picture potentially. Like there's a lot of people that are in this waiting holding pattern. Kevin Owens, even though he's having a title shot, it's like, yo, you've been in that same holding pattern. Everyone's kind of be in that same holding pattern. Like
you can easily move Gunther in there like soon.
Yeah, like you can move those guys in there too. Like these guys should have these opportunities and be in those situations, and especially Bray Wyatt, a person who doesn't need the title, but should definitely be in that picture, manipulating, having some type of impact on it. That's what I think.
He could do his own Undertaker Ministry of Darkness type shit. Like,
I'm just saying.
Well, apparently this past Monday on Raw with that segment with Undertaker, LA Knight, and Bray Wyatt, I guess apparently Undertaker told him like this is just shit now.
It better fall into place. It better fall into place.
No, that would be dope. But he should have that type of impact. Like he should have that type of impact. And I just thought about this. Is this going to be like AEW's Dark Order? You know what I mean? Like potentially, could he add a bunch of people to the stable? I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be that because I think he's that good on his own. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Dark Order could have probably been something way better, and it never did anything.
Brody leaves
because he was awesome. The way he came in and did his thing, the TNT championship,
stew and everything, eating steaks. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
It's funny because it was like even when we're talking about something else, but Brody Lee in WWE, I'm like, yo, he should have some type of impact. He has good size. He's good in the ring. He's active. Another wasted talent. I'm like, yo, this dude.
I was so happy when he became IC champ. I'm like, bro, these dudes are huge. They're athletic. They can probably talk, and you have never let them. And he said it himself. I heard him in interviews. He's like, yo, they always try to portray me as like the hillbilly idiot, blah blah blah. He's like, I'm actually, and they're like, yo, he's into it. He can.
The whole booking of the Wyatt family in general was poor. I mean, whenever when Bray Wyatt like set them free and they went off and did their own thing. You see, like Eric Rowan, Big Red. Remember the gimmick he had with the fucking animal in the cage?
Let him be a big guy in your roster. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to do all this extra shit to try to make him seem cool. Like certain people don't need that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they could have easily been doing what the Bloodline are doing right now if they easily. And you have Braun in there as well at one point. Like
they could have been a Survivor Series matchup, like putting baby faces over. They could have been doing a lot of things, right? Like eventually, that's how you build stars, right? You have them, and then eventually one of them turn on Bray or whatever the case may be.
Exactly. Like the Shield, like come on.
You build up people to do that, like to build your roster, and it's like you holding all these guys back, especially during the Lesnar phase, the Cena phase, the part-time stuff. It's like, yo, like. You have people on your roster. You got to let them go. You got to let them run. You got to let them. Just another example of all that.